Grindavik sheep have been at the center of news. Pets and animals in our culture are very important. In the Western Hemisphere, we care about our animals more than anything else. We treat them mostly as a pet also, not just for, commercial uses. And cats, dogs, sheep, pigs are all covered in that. When we had the recent eruption in the Reykjanes Peninsula near the town of the Grindavik and then into the town of Grindavik, this was again at the center of the news. Lava tongue from the Grindavik fissure eruption burned several houses. And this is the house of the Grétar Jónsson, the Grindavik's Financial Owners Association chief. He had 25 sheep. All his house was burnt. He could not go back, so he asked his son-in-law to let him in. And through the barricade, they passed to the town, where it actually was blockade by the authorities. They went through. They saved 24 sheep. They couldn't save one. One was passed away, unfortunately. And this is the only material thing is left for them in this world. The sheep was the only thing they have. The house was burned completely by the lava, chewed up. And this sheep was everything they had. Eventually, after a long discussion with the authorities, they were allowed back to go and, take the sheep, the equipment for the sheep, saving them. Unfortunately, one of them passed away, as I mentioned, and probably is in the heaven for the sheep. As we know that we care about our animals, we even have pet cemetery. So these animals were important to these people. I have several videos about the events that led to saving the pets and animals, even plants. Please watch them all and enjoy. This is an interesting subject. We had the explosion of the seismic activity, that means earthquake, in the Iceland, Reykjanes Peninsula. This is the place that the mid-Atlantic ridge touches the ground. This is where the extension is happening. Look at that explosion of the earthquakes all over the place. Unfortunately, this led to the town of the Grindavik be unsafe for the people. So the people have to be evacuated, going elsewhere. In the process, animals were left. If you had a sheep, a herd of sheep and such things, they also were left without food. Golf course, you can see, is damaged. The roads are not accessible, usable. They're closed also. So people are now allowed in just a window of opportunity of one day just to return back, collect the necessities, and if there is a pet or anything, take them out or, put some food for them so they can survive on their own if they are able to do it. The rest of it has to be left to the nature, unfortunately, the town, the whole life of people. I can understand now why some of the people show sympathy toward ethnic group of people in the Middle East that have been losing their land to the colonizers from foreign countries. Anyway, this is the situation with the earthquake. This will last. This eruption, reversal of the seismic activity, will last for 4 or 5 days before the actual eruption happens. We saw that in the Little Hoto volcano case and with the Fagradesfjall. So people have opportunity to go back and take what they can, save some of the pets also. When the earthquake struck the town of the Grindavik in the Reykjanes Peninsula of Iceland, it is an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, we had a bulging of the ground and the magma was present. It was moving toward the areas that were residential areas, underneath 5 kilometers and rose to 500 meters. Earthquakes caused a lot of damage to the town. The town was evacuated for the safety of these residents. And as you can see, it was not viable to stay there at that stage. People moved out of town. When this happened in a hurry, an orderly way, of course, then we remember the pets are left behind. And the animals, livestock, and dogs, they are like us, they're mammals. We first remember them. Then we remember the birds, turkeys, pigeons, and then we have to go back and take them. Now that the regulation is a little bit more relaxed, people have remembered, they are not living there at the moment, remembered the house plants that were left there without any protection. So they went there to take the house plants. And the house plants are now, I can report to you that the house plants also are saved in the Grindavik. There is no danger for them anymore. Not necessarily from the volcanism, but from the cold and lack of water. So these are now saved in that way. Since 2 weeks ago, we have a lot of earthquakes in the Reykjanes Peninsula of Iceland. This is the Mid-Atlantic ridge hitting the ground in the Reykjanes that we have these earthquakes. And the result was this. Lots of structural damage, and people trying actually to leave their home as soon as possible. Even before the authorities were telling them to evacuate, the people were actually leaving. Many of them take their belongings, whatever they could, quickly, and their pets. But unfortunately, a few livestock and some of the animals which were not at home by then, like cats, they can go out and come only for their meals. They were left behind. And now we are hearing that they have been allowed 5 minutes sometimes to go back to a property, pick whatever they need, load them, and come back. Many animals in this way were rescued. Some of them actually were transported away to safe place like cattle, sheep, and such things that they cannot graze on their own in the cold winters or autumn of the Reykjanes Peninsula. So they are safe now at the moment. The tremors are continuing, but we are now seeing that the magma is actually at a level which is less than 800 meters, probably around 200 meters, and is going to erupt